Welcome, my name is Kat, this is my channel Kat Can Sew, and welcome to episode 22. This is my first episode of 2025, and I am filming this on Sunday, January 12th. I had to look at the date, sorry guys. This video is kind of be in two pieces. I'm going to do my stitching showcase of all of my completed projects. A little bit of a life update slash 2025 plans. But I also need to talk about what's happening here in California, especially here in LA. I'm going to do that first. I'm going to have chapters on this video. I'm actually going to attempt to be putting chapters on most of my videos. I just have to work it out so I'm a little bit better at it. So please, if this is something that is triggering or you just don't want to hear about, please skip to the next chapter. I live in Pasadena. I live about 3 miles from the Eaton fire. Which is the fire that has basically decimated parts of Pasadena. I'm 10 minutes away, not even. I'm not okay. Physically, we are fine. Our property is fine. I still have my bag packed with all of the paperwork. I have unpacked all the clothes though. Mostly because my husband needed them for traveling. But early hours of Wednesday morning, we had friends lose their house. They, at this point, are also missing one of their pets. They were able to rescue 3 of their 4 cats. Sorry, 2 of their 3 cats plus their snake. But they evacuated with very little notice. They were in an area that was listed as normal, and they didn't get the evacuation warning until after their house was, what we believe their house was already on fire. Houses in their street definitely were. The friends who lost their house are very close family friends. They have been very close for my husband. For about 20 years. They opened their arms for me when I moved here. They are the type of people who are always opening their house for friends, who are the couple that you invite to go out for dinner, fully intending to pay, and they go to the restroom and pay the bill on the way back. Or they steal the bill because they get it put in front of them and then they won't let us pay it. Like, oh, I love these couples. They're amazing. We would like to pay the bill sometimes. These are the people who, when I needed more space for cutting some of my costume pieces, they were like, come use our dining table. If you need more space, if you need to get out of your head, especially during COVID, come over here. The fact that they have lost pretty much everything is devastating. I haven't actually spoken to them. My husband has, but I have not since when they evacuated in 2 vehicles. She came here while her husband was trying to catch the other cats. He was unsuccessful, but she waited here until he was out. And then they travelled away together. So they also had somebody who was renting, basically they had a little studio apartment set up, who was renting that from them. She went back in and was able to get one of the 2 cats, was not able to get the second. I am Australian. I've grown up with bushfires, and I'm so sick of seeing all of the misinformation on especially social media. No, California is not, or LA is not out of water. Our reservoirs are at some of the highest points they've been in decades. Yes, this year has been extremely dry. We've had less than an inch of rain. But the previous 2 years, we were like 300% of rain. There was LA is very dry. We had 25 inches last year and 23 the year before. It was like, ridiculous amounts of water for LA Basin. The problem is when you have as many fires going that require hydrant use, the hydrants can't keep up with the amount of water going through. I get it. Like, people are going, there's no water. It's like, no, there wasn't no water. There was no pressure because of the amount of demand. And because this was going through a very built up urban area, they don't have tankers. Everything is all needs to be connected. I grew up as a country kid. We had tankers, and even a tanker wouldn't have been helpful this week. You would not have got enough water out of a tanker to help. Depending on the size of the truck, it's going to carry about a ton of water, a couple of tons of water. It's not that much. Entire streets were being devastated. The winds, there's footage out there where the winds are actually, like, embers are going 100% sideways. Like, they're going all the way this way. There's no up, it's all this way. I am going to... This is my third attempt on this, and I'm trying not to be too detailed on this. I feel weird and bad about filming this video. Filming my whip parade. It feels frivolous. It feels like bragging that I still have my stuff. But there is also an element of I have to continue living. I have to continue doing things. You can't just stop because there's devastation in the next suburb over. I have been watching the daily, basically town hall community update reports. They go for about an hour, and I really wish people would listen to what they're saying and not just keep putting in the comments what they think needs to happen, because that's not helping the situation. It's not safe to go into those areas yet. There's still fires. I think a lot of people think, oh, the fires were 3 days ago, everything is out. But they're not. There's still hot spots in those houses. You have a look at footage after the 2009 Black Saturday fires in Australia, and like they were going through a week later and there's still like hot embers in houses. But because this is an urban area, I think a lot of people just aren't knowledgeable on how fire works. And yes, this fire didn't work. This fire didn't work right. But in saying that, I still get how fire works. I get how fire in structures reacts after that. I keep seeing people saying we need rain, and right now we don't need rain. If we cannot get rain for a couple of weeks, unless it's strictly over the mountains, it'd be better. We need people to be able to get into their properties and recover what they can. We need them to have time to prep the hillsides from mudslides. So, like, we don't need the winds. That's what we don't need. We don't need the winds that are coming through the next week. But we don't need rain right now. We need people to listen to the warnings that it's unhealthy outside. Especially if you've got pre-existing conditions. It's a lot right now, and for anybody who watched this part, thank you. I'm going to put some donation links in the bottom of my description box. They are going to be for my friends who lost their house, the Drews. They have a GoFundMe just to try and get them through the interim while they're dealing with FEMA and insurance and finding their cat and like all of those necessities you need right now. It was set up by the person that their daughter is staying with. Their daughter actually asked if she could stay here. Unfortunately, we live in a 1-bedroom that has had cat with a dealing with mental health for 6 months. So we just don't have the space. I really wish we could have, but I had to also protect my mental health as well, and having somebody else in this space would have made me very anxious because there's stuff everywhere that I have to sort out. But yeah, so the friend that she's staying with set up a GoFundMe. So I've linked that. I've linked the Pasadena Humane Society. I worked in microchip databases. I worked at the Lost Dogs Home. I can't go and help. I can't volunteer. I'm so empathetic. I would cause more problems. I would not be able to emotionally keep my brain in place. And that's not fair on the people who are already going through so much stuff. I keep breaking into tears. Like, you don't need a volunteer doing that. You need people. So I'm putting money, I have the resources that I can donate. So that's what I've done, and here where I'm sharing as well. I'm also sharing 2 cross-stitch patterns that are being done as fundraisers. The first one is by Stitch by Liz, who is from Melbourne, who is, I think the proceeds for that one is going to the Pasadena Humane Society. And by Live and Die LA, Val is doing the donation to Cal Fire Foundation. So all of those links are going to be in the description box. Thank you to everybody who's reached out. Thank you to everybody who has sat and listened to this. I felt like I needed to record this before I did my whip parade, before I did my finishes. I needed to articulate what's going on in my brain. I needed to give myself permission to live and not be locked in a cycle of I can't do things because other people can't do things. Unfortunately, that comes from being as empathetic as I am. I also struggled during 2009 when we had the bad fires too. But overall, I am safe. My friends and co-workers, while some of them have lost homes, are all physically safe. I believe several co-workers, both for me and my husband, have lost homes as well. It's just, I really want to help the people who have helped me over the last 5 years. So, last 6 years, because next week I've been in LA for 6 years. So, on that note, I'm going to pause for a sec, grab some water, and then I'm going to go into what's going on with this. Thank you for everybody who watched that last section. If you did not, I understand. I honestly do. There's a reason why I have put chapters in this. Life update. I have been sick since Christmas. This is why this was not recorded on the 27th. Well, actually, no, this one was supposed to be recorded on the 30th. The whip parade was supposed to be recorded on the 27th. This is me sounding better. I had a cold. I basically started getting sick Christmas Eve. I then worked Christmas Day and Boxing Day until like 10 p.m. And then, no, I think I worked till like midnight both of those nights. And then I have worked, so basically the 7 of the days over the 2 weeks over Christmas, because I only was working 3 days a week. I was working nights. I wasn't getting out of there much before 10 p.m. I think the earliest finish I had was 9:30. Which, when the sun's setting at 5-ish, is a big deal. So unfortunately it's taken me a really long time to start getting better. I had a cold that turned into sinusitis. I finally got antibiotics for that. The joy of my long COVID is something that's always happened for me, that if I get a cough and it gets in my chest, it stays there for months. I'm not wheezing, which is a good bonus. It doesn't sound like it's going into asthma at the moment. I just have to deal with the cough, and at that my cough is 100% better. Well, like 98% better than it was even on Sunday last week. I went and saw a doctor on Monday. So yeah, that is why this is a couple weeks late. And I kind of sound a little. I'm going to do at the end a bit of a 2025 plans. I have not contacted the people of my June video. I really need to do that. I'm aware of that. I'm almost at the point of like, hey, you watch that video, watch this one, and I'll do. But like only a couple of them got claimed, so I will, I think, just contact the people who messaged me or responded to my comments. But because I haven't been on since June, this video, because I haven't done my whip parade, so you're going to see all my projects, that'll go up like straight after this, like because I wanted that section I've just done to go up first. Both of these will go up on Wednesday. So this is going to be all of my finishes that I've done since June. I have a database right here that is giving me all of my info on my projects. I have 11 projects that I finished over the last 6 months. So the first one I finished was in July. This first one I may have already shown you. Oh no, I finished this on the 15th of June. So my spreadsheet has start date and finish dates and all of the details. It's lovely. So the first one is called Bring Me Her Heart. This was from the Black Needle Society Once Upon a Time stitching box, which I think was like the May box. It was actually done as a class, where a finishing class for this. The fabric is Vintage Country Mocha in 32 count linen. It is 951 stitches. I got them done in like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks. It didn't take me long at all. So that is that one. I do still have to do the finishing for it. I just brained. The next finish I have was, I haven't pulled it out, was the Frogwarts Year 5. which, so if you've been following me for a while, you know I do Black Needle Societies, Harry Potter, virtual retreat. My team won again, yay. But I did complete the entire band sampler for year 5 in July. So we have 12 Grimmauld Place, the Weasleys, Thestral, the Education Decree, the Veil. I am still going through and I'm adding backstitch around some of the white stuff, around Gwarp, things like that. But the actual pattern is complete. You'll see that again in the Whip Parade, because I still have 2 projects on there that I'm working on. So that one was 11,962 stitches, plus backstitch, and all of that 1/1 is painful. So that is patterned by Black Needle Society. Fabric is French Vanilla Mistake from Livendale A in a 28 count Lugano. Next up was another Frogwarts finish, but it was not a Frogwarts start, and that is Happy Haunts. So this project was started the 6th of January. I've put 2004, but it was 2002. So this took me about 2.5 years to stitch. We have Master Gracie, the stretching portraits, one of the tombs. We have the 13th hour clock. We have the coffin, Madame Leota, the ring around her, glows in the dark, the chair, one of the knights, the bride, the duelists from the ballroom, the organ from the ballroom, and again, those ghosts glow in the dark, the Hatbox Ghost, and then we have the graveyard. So we have a couple of the ghosts. We have the Vikings, the singing busks. They're the ones who do grinning ghosts. The groundskeeper, and then we have the butler and the maid, and the hitchhiking ghosts. This is being stitched on, just not showing up real well. It's much pinker than it is appearing on camera. Can I get it to read true? No, it's going to show really blue. It is a little bit more purpley purple. This looks like a very blue purple, but it's definitely got some more purple, like more red to it. This is 32 count Haunted Mansion Lugana from Livendale A. Pattern is by Good Morning Maui and is called Happy Haunts. Next up is a double up. I finished these, the first one at camp, and I finished the other one about a week later. So these are my Down Under Santa, Kangaroo Santa, from Mill Hill. I've done duplicates because the plan is one for me and one for my parents. I have a set with koalas that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to cut them all out. These were like 1,500 stitches each. They weren't very big. I had started them late. I started these in September 2023. So, but they're fully beaded, all the back stitches done. They're really cute. Next up is a Solstice Snail. This is again by Black Knitting Society. This was part of the bag we got for camp this year. This was the design for Black Knitting Society camp. So here is the design. The fabric is Vintage by Be Stitch Me. Let me see if I can get it coming up. That's a bit truer. And then it is stitched with yeah, so the information I didn't keep is what threads this is. It does use a especially thread. I don't remember which one it is. So it is variegated in there. It's all very cute. This I started at camp. I started this on the 2nd of August. And then I finished it on like the 6th. I finished it like the day I got home. And it was like 1,300 stitches. Not so much at all. Nope. It was 1,000 stitches. Next up, so this project I actually started with the plans of using it for the Smalls Exchange, but because I did it over it was actually too big and I didn't finish it. So this is Christmas in the Round by JBW Designs. The fabric is Eggnog from Live and Die LA, and it's just a really cute single color. I stitched this on using a, I can't remember if this is Be Stitch Me or a Roll Under red floss. I can't remember if it was a silk or not. I just used one of the variegators we got in one of the Black Knitting Society boxes. This was 1,300 stitches. Just over, and took me about 3 weeks. I started it on the 27th of July. And then finished it also on the 6th of June. It must have been like the day after I got home or something. Of August. So yeah, I am going to back it, put it in a hoop. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that yet. My next one I finished is another Black Knitting Society snail. This one is called Happy Camper. This is from the 2022 camp, which was their first in-person retreat. I did not go, but I did purchase the pattern. I actually purchased that at camp last year. This is one of the 5 snails I currently have that I am going to finish. I have 3 left to go. The fabric is an unnamed 32 Lagana. Is this? No, this is from Stitches and Spice. I'm looking at the wrong line. I do not know what the color is. Unfortunately, Stitches and Spice closed like a decade ago, so I can't even go and check. I think I got this in one of their packs when they were closing down. This was just over 1,000 stitches, and I finished it on the 20th of August. August was a real good month for me for finishing projects. I have 5 patterns finished in August. August was a real good month for me for finishing projects. My next finish I did not finish until October, and that was the Mickey, I think they call it like Disney Mickey or something. It's so I was calling this Mickey Heroes because it's all the heroes in the shape of the Mickey head. This was being done as a sale for Fandom Stitches. So I started this in February, on the 11th of February, and I finished it on the 3rd of October, which is my mum's birthday. I stitched it on Be Stitch Me by Be Stitch Me. The fabric was in the Best of Black Needle Society box. And it's a 32 count Lagana. I did switch out some of the colours, and so all of this background is supposed to be white, and I did it in a sparkly. I may post a photo so you can see it better. But like I changed, Ariel's tail was supposed to be in white, so I just did it in, you know, a green. I changed Rapunzel's eyes from blue to green. But other than that, I think it's pretty much stitched as it was charted. It was 10,400 stitches, so I'm pretty happy that I got that one finished within, you know, the 12 months. I was hoping to get both of them done, but that life happened. Next up is actually a small, and this is Bewitching Pumpkin from Mill Hill, part of their pumpkins, Enchanting Pumpkins or something range they did a few years ago. I actually started this, what was it, October 2023. This was my work project, my travel project for most of the last 12 months. I did finish this on the 13th of November. So not before Halloween, but Halloween was insane. Yeah, Halloween horror nights messed with my brain a lot. But I know that for next year, so that's good. And then I have two more finishes. My next finish is, so I picked up a bunch of these little charts. This one is, this is the only one I have finished. So this is Monorail. This is by Stitch Michelle. And is stitched on 32 count Aqua Lagana by Liverdale LA. I recharted everything below the monorail. The center, the support railing wasn't center, and the letters weren't center. Same as the top, they weren't centered. So I recharted all of that. But that is really cute. We believe this is actually the Florida, what they say in Florida. But we have that quote as our doormat, so I do really appreciate that one. I'm not going to try and pronounce the Spanish. I'm really bad at Spanish. Though we did get it translated, and it's actually something like "please stay seated" or something like that. So that was done really quickly. That one was done in like 3 weeks. I was kind of hoping to have that as a retreat finish, but that did not happen because I took too many projects to the retreat. And then last project I finished is Red Lady Pirate. So she was started in 2022. I don't have an exact date for her. She's so sparkly, guys. Like, seriously, so sparkly. Can you see all the sparkles? So she is a Mirabilia. She is stitched on 28 count Opal Lagana and the colorway Tropic Waters, which honestly it's not doing it justice. It's much more green than it looks in the pictures. So you can see the full thing. I only did about 3,000 stitches this year out of the 9,100 stitches. Sorry, of the 19,000 stitches. But this bottom section was dense and took a really long time for me to stitch. I got all the beads done in like a week. But it took me a really long time to get this finished. I feel like that number's off of only 3,000, but it could be I only did 3,000. She was pretty close to done at the end of last year. But there she is. She is finished. She is my This and Happy Horns are my projects that I'm most happy about this year. Having got both of those done, so here's Happy Horns again by Good Morning Maui. So I'm not sure how I'm going to finish either of those. At the moment, they're probably going to go into my suit bag at the back of the wardrobe, which is actually really convenient right now because it's much easier to grab a suit bag than to grab a bunch of projects off the walls. So that is all of my finishes. I still managed to not give you all the information on stuff. The Mickey Head Heroes project is by Al Cross Stitch. That was from Etsy. Otherwise, I think I gave you everything else. Everything else looks good. So that means that my total of finishes for 2024 was 20, with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them being Mill Hill ornaments. One of them was slightly bigger, but most of them were just the two koalas slightly big. The two kangaroo Santas were a bit bigger, but most of them were Mill Hill kits. 2 snails, which were also, less, just over 1,000 stitches. And then, yeah, so it was a good year for me to get finishing stitches. I got 53,986 stitches on finished projects last year. That doesn't count my numbers that I'm going to give you on my wood parade. Sorry, my light got moved when I got up because I had a coughing fit. So the light color situation may have changed. So as for plans for 2025 for my stitching, I started the year with 56 whips. I've added 1 more since then. My goal for this year is to whip down. I have a bunch of projects that are small. I have under 2,500 stitches left on them. That I just want to knock out. My goal is basically to go into 2026 with like half as many projects. I'm aiming to not have many new starts this year, if any, other than my New Year new start that I already did, and I will probably do a birthday new start in November. But I'm gonna do Frogwarts in July. I don't think I'm actually going to be doing the retreat just because July is very hard for me to get off work. But I'll jump on when I can. There won't be as many new starts on my videos this year. I'm also planning on trying to not buy as much stuff. So hopefully there probably won't be as much haul. I'm also no longer working for Live and Die LA, so I'm not going to have as much fabric coming in from there either. So yeah, haul is probably going to be real slim pickings. I do have a Black Needle Society. My last Black Needle Society box is due this month. I am keeping up with the Atom Heart mystery boxes. I'm really enjoying those. I will use all of those floss drops eventually. Just because I'm whipping down now doesn't mean that's what's going to happen in 2026. And then, I'm doing the Frogwarts box is the only other Black Needle Society box I'm doing this year. I keep debating on whether I want to do a fabric of the month, but then I remember how much fabric I have. Same with floss. So at the moment, my goal is to whip down, stitch from stash, do all of those things. I'm not doing many retreats this year just because they all seem to fall when it's real busy at Universal. And I am trying to get into positions where I'm a little bit more trainer, etc. And that means I needed to open up my availability. Part of the reason I'm no longer at Live and Dial A is so I could open up my availability universal. I did say right now I'm not working there, but as soon as I'm no longer sick, I'll be putting myself on call, and I should be picking up at least a couple of days a week. I need to get over this. Also, this week has been a right mess. So yeah, and we've got 2 venues currently down for refurb. Or 2 attractions down for refurb. So hopefully I will get plenty of stitching done this year, but it'll be on stuff I've already started. I'm also not stopping myself. I'm not creating a buying ban or a starting ban. It's more of a like, this is your intention kind of deal, with the intention being to keep going this year and get stuff finished. Majority of the reason for that is just because this pile right here is overwhelming. This is where my weeps are, by the way. And I'm not coping with overwhelming. So goal is whip down, get it under control, and then I can add, new projects over the next year or so as the mood strikes. I have a very large collection of patterns. I am going to do a bit of a pattern cull later in the year. Same with some of my fancy flosses and things like that. And, put them up on a D-stash somewhere. But honestly, I have a lot of charts from boxes that I'm never going to stitch. So there is that. I just, I'm trying to get, now that I'm slowly starting to get better with the mental health stuff, I'm trying to get stuff more organized so I can be more effective in my stitching. So yeah, so that's my plan. Stitch from stash, work on the stuff I'm already started. My goal had been to get 24 projects finished in 24. That didn't happen. But my goal for 25 for this year is real likely. Let me do some reorganizing. I have 23 projects with less than 2,500 stitches. So getting to my 2,500 stitch mark, plus I have one project I aim to get finished in July, which is a start and finish, bodes well. I'm also doing tiny wheel decision wheels. I have broken up my stitching into 4 categories. As of the 1st of January, under 2,500 stitches, under 10,000 stitches, under 25,000 stitches, and over 25,000 stitches. So basically, 2,500 to 1,000 to 10,000 and 10,000 to 25,000. I have tiny decision wheels set up, one for each of those 4 categories, and I am spinning the wheel with the intention to get at least 1,000 stitches on every project on that I spin up. Or if I'm really vibing it, I'm trying to get 10 to 20% on my under 2,500, under to 10% done, or to the nearest 10% on under 10,000, 5% on under 2,500, and 1% on the huge ones. Because 1% on those over 25,000 is still, 2,500 stitches. So, but if I can get at least 1,000 stitches on those, I would be happy. I also have a tiny decision wheel on trying to get a bunch of projects all my projects up to 10%. Thanks Stitch for Liz for that one. Sorry, Stitched by Liz. She was doing that last year. I also I really want to get stuff finished. I have some of my smaller projects I only do like 20% on, and it's only a couple of hundred stitches, and then I put it away. I'm cool with doing that with some of these projects. It's just trying to get stitches done on projects, to knock out some finishes, put some time into my big projects, that kind of jazz. So yeah, has anybody else got, so I'm a spreadsheet girl, right? I have formulas for everything. If anybody wants to see my spreadsheet, comment and I'll take a video of it, because seriously, it's insane. I have everything in it. Designer, start date, what the fabric is, needle minders, project bags, who the project bags by, and then all of my stitching information. It's a lot. But you know what? Makes me so happy. I have actually got it set up so I have hidden columns that I can just view. I just open those up as the more of the month opens up, or more of the year. I've got January visible, and then when we get to February, I'll open those for my fortnightly totals. Yeah, I just love all the stats, and I get that doing all those stats takes away from stitching time, but I dig those stats. I've also got all my stats on my finishes. I have to set up a new page for 2025, but I haven't got any done yet. So I also have some projects that are in my to start pile. The last week I haven't got a lot of stitching done, so I basically sat down and played with my databases. I have a color database that I use that lists all of the fabric and how many stitches it uses, and then I do, the formulas to tell me how many lengths I need, and so I can kit everything. And I basically spent 4 days updating that database, starting to transfer some more patterns over to WinStitch, that kind of jazz. So that has been where I'm at. That's where I'm going. My intention is to be doing these fortnightly, with them recorded probably on a Monday or Tuesday and going live on a Wednesday. The only reason this one's being done today is because I needed to do it before I lost my nerve. Thank you to everybody who is watching. Comment down below if you would be interested in seeing my database. I've got several. I'm not doing Fandom Stitches this year. I'm not doing Whip Go this year. I'm not doing Semi Sane this year. I'm literally just Tiny Decision Wheels, and a little bit of What Mood Strikes. I'm sorry, there's a lot of ums in this because I didn't prepare this section of in my brain. But yeah, that's where I'm at. This black top on this dark blue couch may not have been a good idea. But on top of that, after all of that, I wish to thank everybody. I hope everybody is having, my plan was to wish everybody a happy new year, but we're already having an interesting start to the year. Please take care of your loved ones, and do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, share if you like, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Well, you'll see my next video right after this, but my next regular will be in 2 weeks. Ciao.